Well, it's the second week of LCS right now. I'm joined right now by. Do you go by Megumi Expert anymore, or are you're down to
I've been
Tricia?
saying that.
Okay.
Some people, whatever. Megumi Expert, Tricia.
Yeah. How do you present yourself publicly? Like if you were to introduce yourself on the LCS broadcast, would you say Tricia?
I would say Tricia. Yes, I would say Tricia.
So you're pulling a Carlos. 'Cause he did that, and he doesn't use Ocelot anymore.
It just depends who we're talking to, right? Like if you know my background, then probably Megumi Expert. But
Well, and so I think this is the first time we've done an interview. But do you want to get? Well, first off, so you're the newly appointed CEO of FlyQuest, but you've been at FlyQuest for quite some time now, a couple years, 2 years. Do you want to give people a little bit about your background in esports before then?
yeah, sure. So I've been in esports for a very long time, probably like 10 years now. I was streamer on Twitch. This is back when it was like Justin TV and they transitioned to Twitch TV. I did hosting and casting and interviews. I played StarCraft 2 competitively, but I never did it full time because back then it was very difficult to. So I used to use my PTO to do esports stuff.
Gotcha. And then eventually you made the jump in full time into esports.
Absolutely. So after a while, I was like, dude, I'm going to regret this for the rest of my life if I just don't dive in and own it. So I started to work behind the scenes on a streaming platform to team side and etc.
So speaking now of FlyQuest this year, we have noted a significant difference, I feel like, in FlyQuest this year in terms of the way you guys are presenting yourself, your branding, a lot of the announcements you've been making, some of the content. What is actually going on and from behind the scenes that's leading to all these changes?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm glad you first said that, so thank you. We know that we have to do a lot of changes, first of all. And so when I joined in January 2018, the first thing I did was create company vision, because I think that's where it all starts from. You need your why and your purpose and what resonates to you, what differentiates you as a brand, and that was what my focus was. So we created our vision, Showcase Greatness, which is the belief that greatness already exists within everyone, and that we want to help and find and showcase that. So a little bit back to my history, that has always been my thing. Like when I was Megumi Expert, when I used to use my stream money to do little Ikebana arrangements or do charity or do Bear Cup tournaments, and all for the community, right? Amateur run. And so that purpose is still carrying on with me in my job at FlyQuest, and now I have that invaluable privilege to execute that as CEO. So that was always what we worked on. I also did like operations, logistics to make sure that we have company alignment. It's one to create vision and culture, but it's also another difficult task to make sure that everyone's aligned and on board. So that's really what I think FlyQuest did successfully, is create company vision, make sure we establish our brand, get everyone on board and aligned, set up operations, get a CRM up and going, and all these things that you need to be successful. And now I think just moving forward, we need to put the exact same energy of what we did internally, externally. That's one thing we need to improve on. Like now as my job, I want to own that and share that message, because I don't think a lot of you guys knew that was our vision before, admittedly. And so that's the whole purpose, is making sure that resonates with everyone. A, we have that vision and know that everything we do is purposeful and intentional. And secondly, make sure that all of our initiatives and campaigns support that.
Coming into this role officially this year and starting to work on so much stuff externally, what is your impression of sort of where FlyQuest is as a brand within the LCS? Because I mean this as respectfully as I can. Like for a lot of time,
Sure.
FlyQuest was a bit of a butt of the joke for some of the, like, we'd poke fun on Hotline League and elsewhere in the community. Now it feels significantly different. So where do you sort of see where you're coming from and where you're headed?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, totally fair. And Travis and I go way back, so I've always appreciated his candidness or his candor. And it's true. Like there's no excuse. It's true. And I think a lot of the community's perception is valid. Again, we didn't own our brand. Like internally, it was really clear, and everybody knew what they're working on. Like, what is the goal? Okay, how does this showcase greatness? All right, that's why we're going to do women's merch. That's why we're going to do career workshops, et cetera, et cetera. But if we don't control our own narrative, then other people define it for us. And that's what happened with FlyQuest. So the fans are like, hey, they seem like kind of good guys and seems wholesome and like nice, but like I'm not sure what they stand for. Yeah. So again, my whole purpose, or I guess my number one priority, is to share that. Is like, dude, we've had this vision for a long time, actually, since I first joined. That was the very first thing I worked on, and why it's so important. And now we just need to share that why through everything we do.
So one thing that is very interesting to me is the Go Green initiative. So it seems to be, from what I can tell, wildly successful because everybody's talking about it. The funny thing to me is I feel like a lot of people talk about it in a very memey way, right? It's like, how many plants are they planting? Double F today tweeted like, today we end the Go Green initiative. Yeah, destroy the Go Green initiative. And but at the same time, like even though people are memeing about it, it's become a bit of an identity for you guys very rapidly over the course of just like 2 weeks. So are you okay with it being kind of memey? Is that what you guys were going for initially? Or are you embracing it now? I mean, what has the past 2 weeks been for you as this whole thing has rolled out?
So absolutely. So first, our Go Green initiative, for those of you who don't know, it's the belief that we believe everyone has the ability to affect like real change in the world, right? And we want to facilitate ways for you guys to join us and help our planet Earth. And again, just my privileges as CEO, like I got to determine kind of like what is our first act. And I'm like, let's do Go Green because green represents just so much of what we believe in, like the color. We did a lot of research. It represents growth, harmony, nature, life, and the environment. And it's about, I don't want to say new FlyQuest, but definitely going forward. We have to own our brand. Like we have to own it. And this is something I've shared internally all the time. It's like, let's own it. Let's not be afraid. No half-assing, right? That doesn't do anything. And so what does that mean to wear your colors proudly and green, right? Let's give meaning behind that. Let's make sure our designs also follow this Go Green initiative. That's why we have this jersey and it's an Ikebana design. I'm also Ikebana sensei for like a long time. So it's something that means a lot for us. It's also taking inspiration from nature, like what it means. Nature is beautiful and it's graceful, but it's not just pretty, like it's strong as heck. Nothing can stop nature. You look at the sidewalks, like where we're at, it's all jagged because even if you put concrete around the roots, like it won't stop it. And that's the intention of what we're trying to be. It doesn't mean that we're perfect, showcase greatness, doesn't mean we're perfect and we are invincible because humans aren't, right? But it's about like always trying your best and believing in people, right? Believing in that. So going back to your question, yes, we wanted to make it meme on purpose because owning it doesn't mean that we're going to say, hey, we're showcase greatness and I hope you can see this, how this jersey relates back, or I hope you can see how like we're owning our green. It's coming in hot and saying, this is what it means. This is Go Green. This is how we're defining it. This is what green means to us. And our True Quest is one of our campaigns that we're going to do. This is how we're going to show people. And we wanted to make it fun. Like, no, this is actually one thing I really want to say is kindness doesn't mean that you're boring, right? And vulnerability doesn't mean that you're weak. And that's what we're trying to show. Like, we have personalities and we've been here for a long time and we can laugh at ourselves and we want to be sarcastic and witty. And so, yes, it was supposed to be a meme and that's why we did the kills and the wins. And I was like, we need to do the Drake. Because how do we put our roots, if you will, or plant our seeds in every other team, right? And that's why we're making light jokes, but like 100 trees and like there's so many ways to meme everybody else. So yes, that was the intention.
I thought it's been very fun to see that work. I also just it struck me as a thing where when I first saw you guys roll this out, my impulse was like, all right, what's FlyQuest up to now? But it's worked so well. Were you nervous at all? Because it does feel kind of risky. You guys are doing something that like LCS teams just haven't done before, right? You're going in a very different direction, even down to just the jerseys. On Acid Day, when I saw the jerseys, I was like, holy shit! Like that it looks really cool. But I wasn't, I was trying to figure out how I felt about it because it's so different than anything I've seen in my time in esports.
Yes, so that is exactly what it means. I think again, now that I'm CEO, I get to kind of call the shots and say like, let's own it. And that's the whole thing. Like, even when you're playing a game, like when we're playing League, right? And if you half-ass a play, it's not going to work, right? When people are like, kind of go in and flash and you're playing with your team and, when you play a 5-second, like, that was a bad play, Tricia. Like, it didn't actually work. It's like, dude, we didn't even execute it correctly. So it's not necessarily the play, it's the execution. And I think that's the theme of initially going green. Again, I always have to get buy-in internally and make sure that we're all on board. So when I first shared with them to like, go green, like, the same thing that Mark said, you said on Hotline League, like, oh, does Go Green mean like, yay, we're going to have solar panels or something like that? It's like, no, what does green mean to us? And let's go deeper. Let's actually have brand strategy and go into the color. Okay, how does that affect our vision? How does that tie back? It's something I truly believe in. Like, I've been doing Ikebana since I'm probably like 3 years old or 4 years old. My mom is in our recent vlog. She helped. She's also Ikebana sensei. And it all comes back again to like, let's use our resources, let's use our players' influence, and let's do good. Like, and make it cool, right? To do good and show people that we're giving back, and just having this belief in people and kind of changing the status quo of what greatness means, right? Greatness means, yes, we're going to try our best and we're going to win. Like, we're coming out here, our goal is to make worlds, period. And we're also going to showcase greatness through Go Green Initiative, FlyQuest, and we want to make it fun and Mimi intentionally. We got internally pushback on the jersey initially because I was like, I came into our designer.
The players or
Everybody, to be honest. Okay, initially everybody. I shocked everyone, let's just say. So initially, I'm like, hey, our design doesn't really represent like showcase greatness. It's dark schemed, it's edgy, and we're wholesome. Like, let's make it softer and everything. And then I took inspiration, like, nature is everything, right? And it's part of our Go Green, and let's do an ikebana arrangement or floral design. And not too deep here, but I was like, purple is my favorite color, so like, let's use purple, right? I'm like, I love purple. And then we did research like on the flowers. So violet is the state flower of Wisconsin. We're like, okay, so that's where we're going to use that. So initially it's like, hey, this is really tough for me, and we're doing floral, and I don't see this in esports, or I don't see this in traditional sports and in jerseys. And I'm like, who cares? Right. Who said that a jersey has to be like that in esports, right? Like, yeah. We don't have to worry about our vertical leap or our muscle mass or all these things and sweating. Like, we did do long sleeve on purpose because the players are cold on stage. But outside of that, we're like, let's make this our canvas and do whatever. And so during that process, internally our business staff and everyone was like, okay, cool, this is awesome. Like, it looks nice. And then when we showed it to our players, they loved it. They're like, I love floral design and et cetera. I'm like, yes, of course.
Which one of them said, I love floral design? Because it's very hard I'm not saying Turtle said it?
Turtle said it. So legit, Turtle, he told me, he's like, oh yeah, just like 2 weeks ago I was like shopping for socks and I have floral print and this, and a lot of them were like, I like floral. I'm like, yeah, you guys look amazing in this, right? And this looks like FlyQuest and Go Green, and it's owning that again. I can't stress that enough. Is I told them when I unveiled the jerseys actually in person, I'm like, here's what we're doing, but here's why. And I think it's so important for leadership to explain the why of, here's what showcase greatness means again. I know I've told you this so many times, but this is really what it means to own it. This is what it means, what we're doing, Go Green Initiative, and this is how the jersey is going to support this, right? Our design. And I was like, let's be bold. We cannot be afraid of people saying, ooh, that's a meme, that's a floral jersey, or, oh, maybe because you have or I don't know, whatever the reason is. We have to own it. And I'm like, let's embrace ourselves and show the community like what it is we stand for. Yeah.
Well, one of the things I was going to say is I think what's fascinating to me about the strategy is it's the first time I can think of in LCS history where there's something to talk about about the team, even when you guys lose, that isn't like, well, they suck today, right? Like, it's like people can say, like, Mark was just out here, we were chatting a little bit, the three of us, and Mark was like, yeah, it's fun because we can say they only planted X number of trees today versus like the last couple of days where they've planted X. Like, it gives you guys a narrative that kind of transcends how well you're doing in the league. And obviously I know you guys want to do well, but it's nice to have something where, like, if you guys have like a down turn for a split or part of a split, there's something else going on there. So I think it's really interesting. Is there more to come like this? Like, should we expect more tree style initiatives soon? Tree Quest?
Yes, absolutely. So as part of our Go Green initiative, we have Tree Quest, we have Save the World Turtles, and we have Ikebana. So for those of you who couldn't make tailgate, we had like the garden that you talked about in Hotline League. We really embraced it. We have a flower wall. We have a cool aesthetic that we can work with, that we can own, and again, it ties back to our brand, so it's not just like some random thing. And Save the Wild Turtles is something we'll be, without saying too much, we'll be doing changes, let's say in summer. Okay. So like, just as nature evolves, my whole vision behind this is our aesthetic should change too. So nature has many seasons, so you will see us change and evolve per the seasons through our design, through our campaigns, and everything else.
You better hope you don't have to bench Wild Turtle, because if that happens while you're in the middle of a Save the Wild Turtle thing, it's going to look very ironic.
Well, first of all, we love Jason. Okay, so I don't think we have to worry about that. But also, Our strategy is pretty deep, so we're good.
Okay, good. Fantastic. I just thought about that. It's like you're leveraging the brand of a single player and something goes wrong, like it's really bad.
It's more for the memes, right?
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, we want people to know like FlyQuest is an environmental team and we care about the planet Earth, and that's one of the many ways we're going to showcase greatness.
Yeah.
So that's what Go Green is. And yeah, I'm super excited. Like the reception has been really positive. And you asked, like, is that something you're surprised? Like, no, we expected really like positive results, and we also expected people to not be so happy and like a polarized opinion, and that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Because FlyQuest has been too just in the middle,
Right.
like it's not like bad, no one hates us, but people don't have lovers, and that's what I told the players too about the jersey. We need to come out strong and own it and be bold, and that may create a polarized audience, and that means we're doing something right, And so, like you said, going back to the teams, and I've been in esports for a long time and selling on behalf of teams or whatnot, so many times we just sell our products, right? Like, here's our product differentiation, here's the different games we play, here's blah, blah, blah. And of course, that's important to have product differentiation, but at the end of the day, we want to have our purpose and our why, and so people can resonate with that regardless of where we stand or anything else.
Is there anything you want to say to any of the FlyQuest fans? I don't know, maybe a place where they can find out more about the initiatives you guys have going on or anything at all?
Yeah, so first, thank you, Travis, for always being refreshingly honest and brutally honest, which actually helps us legit. You mentioned this on Hotline League, but truly, we never take offense. Like, at least I don't. At least I don't take offense, because what you said is true. And I have to thank you because you helped us be relevant.
I'm glad that our jokes on Hotline League could help you guys stay relevant.
Like the humor and all that. And I think that's what we want to show. Is like FlyQuest is, we can laugh at ourselves and be fun and we can wholesome. And I hope that resonates with everyone. And secondly, if you're interested, then you can follow us on FlyQuest. We're on YouTube, Twitter, all the social media. But check out our initiatives. I hope it's something that you guys are excited about. It's something that we really care about. And so, thank you.
Well, looking forward to seeing more FlyQuest quests over the next couple of years for sure. Thank you so much for the interview. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports right here on my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching that interview. I really appreciate you doing that. By the way, look at this watch. Wait, can I do this again? Here we go. Ready? And look at this watch. Look at that. That's my movement watch. I've got these shades. I don't need them right now because it's kind of overcast. But those are made by Movement. They sponsor our coverage along with Alienware. You can check out Movement in the video description below. You can save 15% off. They make some cool accessories. They're based out of LA. You checking them out helps me out and lets me continue to make content for you that you get to watch for free. So isn't that great? That's like a win-win for all of us.